a cross one, but it was way out of her price range. It was like double what she could afford. So I was like, you know, this is really nice. I want you to be able to stay here. I want to be able to pull up and stay here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you afford? And I'll split it. I'll pay the rest. So
you should never commit to somebody, especially when you started dating them. You just started dating them. On half of the rent if you're not even habitating there.
You were saying he should not be paying for her rent now they're broken up. That's what you're saying, correct?
No, he should have never committed to it in the first place.
Okay, but that's not the point. That's neither here nor there. I'm talking about, all right, that's the situation. He committed to it. He said this. Should he still be expected to upkeep your life, which is the rent, now that they've broken up?
There exists a subgroup, the nice guy. A dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex. Allegedly. However, they are dismissed and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone. Joe, Jason, and Manny are the last of the nice guys.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another special episode of Last of the Nice Guys podcast. As we continue to avoid 100th episode because Joe is a fuck. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. So today's topic is paying. Wait, how do I want to say this? Today's topic is paying rent for your ex. Now, this is kind of like an addendum or response to both episode 1, the very first podcast, Should a Man Be Expected to Pay? And especially episode 48, Is Your Ex Responsible for Upkeeping Your Lifestyle? They introduced you to. Manny, sorry. you know what I was about to do. Manny, do you remember? Okay, this is inspired by an Ab and Preach video. They're reacting to a guy, an NBA player, stating how he pays for his ex's rent. Manny, do you remember your response in episode 48 about if your ex should be responsible for upkeeping your lifestyle? I remember what mine is, but I don't know if you remember yours. Before we play this video, and then because this is going to be something where you could be like, oh, you're a hypocrite. And in reality, no. I will get into it.
I want to say my response was hell no still.
Right.
So yeah, I think so.
Did you want to elaborate on that?
Like, well, I'm pretty sure my response was
okay. Let me refresh your memory. It was a video that I played where this girl was on a podcast and she said that
and she said that that a man, her ex-boyfriend, should he introduced her to new things in life.
Right.
Then they didn't work out, so he should still pay for the loft or whatever that she was living in and whatever the case was.
So she was saying that you can't introduce me to a better lifestyle and then break up with me and then not upkeep that lifestyle that you introduced me to. And she meant that shit. And we were like, no, absolutely not. That was because you were together. That was the perks of being together. She didn't see it like that. And I absolutely agreed that the guy should not be expected or even do that, period. Because that's just not the way it works. You know, that sense of entitlement was crazy. And then I heard this video. So I'm going to play the video now. And we're going to react to it. It should be a short episode, like the specials are supposed to be. But there we go. This is inspired by Ab and Preach. He's paying for his ex's rent.
You know what I mean? If it's that much
oops.
People call it tricking. I never spent money on it. I never bought girl expensive gifts before this last girl. And it was cool to do. Like, I liked making sure she was fly. I liked making sure she had nice things. But
of course. Got a commercial. Of course.
But still wanted to know that she was with me for like the right reasons. You know what I mean? Because every dude in this particular person's past had money. So I never wanted to feel like a girl was just with me because of what I have and what I could give her, which, you know, that's not a bad thing. If a woman says that her type needs to have money or she's only going to be attracted to do with money. I'm not saying that's wrong because at the end of the day, a man is supposed to provide for a woman.
Right. I'll stop it right there. I think that's wrong. That's just me right there. I don't know how you feel about that, but a woman that says, I'm only attracted to a dude who has money, that's a gold digger.
Yeah,
Period.
100%.
There's just no way around it. So
that's the definition of a gold digger.
Right. So
You're
I'm
only
saying
with
is that
somebody for the
yes,
money.
I kind of subscribe to the whole men are providers and should be expected to provide kind of thing, but not when it is expected, demanded, or there's a certain threshold of that.
Or
If a
that's the sole
man,
purpose.
right, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I disagree with that. I'm gonna continue to play.
She was providing half the rent.
No, so watch this. I'm just saying. So
just
my mindset,
your girlfriend.
My mindset was like, okay, I still want to know she's in this for the right reasons. So,
which I respect.
She's looking at these different apartments, you know, in her price range or whatever, and I'm not gonna live with a girl until I'm married. I feel like if you move in with a girl, you're living with a girl, you're dang near married. So I never wanted to do that. So
you never lived with any?
Never lived with a girl. Nah, I'm not doing that until I'm married. So basically, she's looking around. She's looking around for her apartments, and she came across one, but it was way out of her price range. It was like double what she could afford. So I was like, you know, this is really nice. I want you to be able to stay here. I want to be able to pull up and stay here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you afford? And I'll split it. I'll pay the rest. So
right.
I ended up doing that, and I was like, yo, whatever happens, and I want the people's advice on this too, because I'm curious.
Yeah, I am the
so basically, bruh, I said whatever happens in this relationship for the next year, I'm committed to paying this rent.
Like, you a year guy. You committed to the NBA? You committed to
my wife, I don't know if it's not. So I'm like, okay, for this next year, I got you. Whatever happens, we could break up. I got you. For this next year, I'll split rent with you.
You can do it the wrong mindset, though.
No, but bro, I don't know. I just didn't know. So then we end up breaking up 5-6 months into the rent. And basically that's where I'm at now, where I'm like, man, do I keep helping her out?
Okay, so they start laughing. All right. So that's the whole thing. And I want to make it very clear, even though this is a video inspired by Abba and Preach, it is a clip they're watching from hashtag respectfully the Justin Laboy Show. It looks like Lady Boy, but respectfully, hashtag respectfully the Justin Laboy Show. It's a podcast. So basically, as you heard it, Buddy was clowning on him, saying that the guy's an NBA player, but he's only paying half the rent. And respectfully, the NBA player, I don't know who this guy is. Honestly, let me see which guy this is. Let me see if I can bring it up. Him and his girl agreed on the apartment she moved. Oh, those I like the comments. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to see if I can look and see where are the. There it is. More. Oh, Michael Porter Jr. surprised his podcast host by saying that he often made his past girlfriends pay for half his rent. No, that's weird. That's the wrong. I think they need to. Yeah. Oh, that he made his girlfriends pay half the rent, raising the question if it's not a cheap move when you're worth millions of dollars. So it's Michael Porter Jr. He's an NBA player, I guess, right? You know him?
I'm not really much into basketball.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, I'm more of a football guy, but he is a
center forward for the Pistons.
No.
Are you really Googling him? Who cares? This is not that kind of
podcast. He's a forward for the Brooklyn Nets.
I knew that. See, the Nets rock. So okay, so let's put it there. Let me paraphrase. So basically, what had happened was
he's 27. Poor kid.
That's what I'm saying. No, hold on. So what had happened was he was dating this hot chick, this baddie, right? And he's not known for lavish gifts for girls and whatever, but because that's just not who he was. He'll take them on trips and his experiences with him, which is funny because that's what I say about my travel vlog. I'm not paying for these women necessarily. I'm just saying I'm having fun. Please come with me. You'll be having good fun too. It's companionship. So, anywho, what he is he was dating this girl and she was looking for new apartments, and she found an apartment that she liked, but was out of her price range. She admitted it was out of her price range. He liked the spot, and he's like, "Listen, I like this spot for you. What can you afford? And I'll cover the rest." So it ended up being half half. And he said to her very clearly, since he said if it came with the, I'm sorry guys, my head is killing me. He came with the statement that no matter what happens, he's got half the rent for the year, the first year, no matter how things work out with him. He's a year to year kind of guy. And unfortunately, they break up about 5, 6 months into the rent, and now he's still paying for it. Now he's asking, should he still keep paying for it? Is he silly for doing it or not? And of course, that's as far as it went with there. Manny. Sorry. I mean, I just finished editing. This is housekeeping crap. I just finished editing, two Geek Bros things. So, just what I was referring to him the entire time, the last couple of hours. Manny, so here's the scenario. We just talked about episode 48. Does this change your answer with this caveat? The
Hell
caveat
no.
is that he suggested it and he agreed to it and he gave a commitment with the caveat that with no strings attached, saying he didn't require you to be with me for me to continue paying rent for a year. That's the caveat. Now, bringing it back to 48, what is your response? You still hold?
I still hold true to what I said in episode 48.
Okay.
First of all, I don't give a damn how much money he makes a year and how good of a basketball player he is or anything of the sort. You should never commit to somebody, especially when you started dating them. You just started dating them. Um, on 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 half of the rent if you're not even habitating there. Like if you don't live there.
Well, but he said he doesn't cohabitate with women. He's like, if I'm going to cohabitate with a woman, it's going to be somebody I'm marrying.
Right then and there, you should never commit to paying half the rent for one of these
Mm-hmm.
Jezebels, one of their rents or
Okay.
whatever the case is, or half of their rent.
I disagree, but carry on.
You disagree?
I do disagree. I disagree because of this. I disagree in the concept that he shouldn't be. You're saying he should not be paying for her rent now they're broken up. That's what you're saying, correct?
He should have never committed to it in the first place.
Okay, but that's not the point. That's neither here nor there. I'm talking about, all right, that's the situation. He committed to it. He said this. Should he still be expected to upkeep your life, which is the rent, now that they've broken up? That's the
Yeah,
question. Yeah, okay, so then we agree. Because what I'm saying is, based on episode 48, we both said no. If you got upgraded into a lifestyle while you're dating a guy and you break up, you shouldn't expect him. However, in this case, she wouldn't have chosen that lifestyle or that apartment had he not said,
I got you.
I got you. I got half of
Right.
it. Because clearly,
Yeah. So
based on his own story, she's like, I like this place, but I can't afford it. She admitted she couldn't afford it, but he said, I like this for you. I like
I
seeing
got you.
myself. I like seeing myself coming over here to this spot. I got it for you. And then he said, and this is the caveat. He said, no matter what happens, I got you for a year.
And that's where he fucked up. Sorry.
Well, okay. So you would say, okay, you think that that's that actual part here is where he fucked up. What if he didn't say that? What if he said, I like this spot for you. I'll pay half the rent. You should get it. He doesn't say the I got it for a year, but then they break up. You don't think he should continue paying?
He should have no. He should since he made the commitment from day one and moved her in there, knowing that it was out of her price range.
Uh-huh.
He has to commit to the commitment that he made, the original commitment.
Well, okay,
That
okay. Well,
that
the original commitment was for 12 months, for a year. But
right.
now I'm taking that part of it off, okay? Because I'm taking that part of it off and saying, okay, he didn't tell her, look, I got you for Jesus Christ, you can't do that during the podcast, bro. I told you. Okay, so let's say he didn't commit to 12 months, right? He didn't commit to saying, yo, I got you for 12 months. He just said, babe, I see this place for you. I like it. Move in. I got half the rent. And that's all he said, right? Then they break up 6 months later. Do you think he should continue paying the rent until the lease is over?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's yes on both parts. I
Yeah,
agree.
it's yes on both parts because like I said, she wouldn't have moved in there
Correct.
had he not opened up his stupid ass mouth. Um
It's we're not
listen,
we're not condemning him for what he said. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
condemning him because
Okay.
if you're telling me you're paying half of somebody's rent and you don't live there.
Right.
And then you're saying you don't live with women unless you're married to them.
Right.
You just
But he wanted a spot where when he does come over and kick it with her while they're in a relationship, that he'd be comfortable and he'd like too. So he was getting a benefit from this as well.
but this is stupid.
Okay.
Why would you get a spot? You might as well just live there if you like going there. Like, what's the point of
No, no,
going to
no.
somebody
No,
else's house?
when you want to go to somebody else's house and kick it, you want to be comfortable too. When you're going to your girl's house, you don't always want your girl coming over your space, and maybe you don't want your girl coming over your space at all.
Okay, but
So
that's
you
fine.
want to go to her space.
She should be able to commit to her own space
Uh-huh.
without the need of
But
his money or his help.
and she would have, but again, she found a spot.
But
It
that's
was
what I'm
out of her
saying.
price range, and
He fucked
he
up when he
encouraged
said, "I
her.
got you."
Correct. I agree. But I'm just saying is that some people would say that, no. Some men would be like, no, we're not dating anymore. Screw you, find your own, pay your own way. I disagree though, honestly. I completely because he instigated, he initiated it. It's different than if she upgraded herself and he's like, okay, you got yourself into this, sure we're dating, I'll help you. You know what I'm saying? That's different than him saying, take it, I got you. And you're putting her in a position where she can't afford it, and you're giving her the cushion or the reassurance that you're gonna help with her. You're damn right. I expect the guy to commit to it. At least until the lease is over. I absolutely
Right,
agree. So even if you didn't say the full year thing, I mean, look, either or you better help her move somewhere. No
right.
matter what you're gonna do, you're gonna have to come out of
It's
pocket
it's
because
his fault that
correct,
she's there in the first place. So
correct,
he has to own up to the
correct.
mistake that he made, and he
Mhm.
needs to keep it going.
So then, how is
Now,
this different than episode 48 where we said
because in episode 48,
correct?
she said after um because I believe she said that the guy got her the loft,
Mm-hmm.
and that it was expected for him to continue paying it
Right,
regardless of whatever's going on with his life.
right,
He should just always pay for it regardless of anything,
right.
whether or
In
not she can
perpetuity.
afford it
Correct.
or any of the case. So that's the issue that I had in
Right,
48, where she just basically said, I don't care if I can make it or not.
right,
Because he introduced me into this lifestyle, it's on him
right,
to keep me going.
right, right, right.
And again, I'm all for, like, this guy, what's the name again? I forgot. I already forgot his name.
Michael Kors,
Mike, no, not
Dapper
Mike.
Shabadoo,
Shit,
Michael
I'm killing me.
Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr.
Jr.
I'm on board. You want to try and make a commitment, try and do something nice or whatever. You make you make your bed, you learn from the lessons, you move
I
forward
mean,
from there.
let's say he really cared about this chick, or she was that fine, and he was locking it down. I mean, I don't see anything wrong as long as you have the money, as long as you're not putting yourself out by doing this. That's
Hmm.
different. He had the money, you know what I'm saying? He had the money and or has the money, so you're not putting yourself into a situation to help her out. But again, carry on, carry on. Okay, yes, take a sip, take a long sip. There you go. Delicious, refreshing.
That was fresh. Um, no, like I said, I can commend him for trying to do something nice for somebody because he's said in the beginning that he's not known to be giving gifts, or whatever to the girls that he's dating or whatever the
Right.
case is,
Which means
which is understandable.
which means
So
what? Which means that clearly this particular woman meant something.
right,
I would
meant
think.
something to him enough for him to be like, you know what, I got
Yeah.
you, this and that, whatever, what have you. And
Right.
then he committed after they broke up to the commitment that he made from the
Right. Being
get go,
a
which is
man of
understandable.
his word. Right. Being a
Right.
man of your
So
word.
yeah, you're just being a man of your word. But once that year is up or whatever, she's got to find somewhere else to go,
No, of course.
or if and he's not going to run out of money until
Well,
unless he
I
stops
mean,
playing
they
basketball.
can always renegotiate, but again,
Right.
like that's not going to work out because of course you're going to move on. You're going to find he's an NBA player, so he's going to find somebody else. And most girls worth their salt are not going to be cool with your
Him
man
paying your ex's
paying your
stuff.
exes. It's
No,
not going to
no,
happen.
no.
That's not going to happen.
And
I
and in 48, that was the other issue that I had. In 48, she was dating somebody new, and he was living in the loft that she had her ex still paying for.
right,
That was the other issue that I had.
right.
You got a whole new man
Mhm.
paying and staying in somebody else or
Okay,
somebody else's place
but let's stop
that
that.
he's
They
paying
broke
for.
up. She has a new man, and he gets to come over and isn't it the same thing? She's gonna
No,
get a new man. If she's as fine as we think she is, or whatever, she's gonna find a new man. And she's gonna find a new man. Hopefully, she finds a new man that can take over. Who's
right.
smart enough to be like, yo, listen, he doesn't need to pay. I'm the man now. Let
Well,
me pay.
okay, so if this girl, all
Hmm.
right, in this situation, if this girl finds another man and he ends up staying over, it would be on Michael Porter Jr. to be like, hey, listen, since you got a new man now, let's renegotiate what we agreed on.
But that's not. But
Because
that wasn't contingent upon that. He said, "If we break up, I got you for a year." Not I got you for a year as long as you say single. Not if I got you for a year if you don't have another dude coming over, you're not sleeping with
well,
anybody
you know
else.
what?
It's not the
Like
same thing. You can't do
it's the
that.
same thing as
And
divorce and all this other shit. You don't expect it to happen when you say the stupid shit when, when you're making those
it doesn't
commitments.
matter.
It does matter
Then you need to be more.
because
Then you
listen,
need to put these clauses in your word.
but
He said,
listen, like
if we broke when you
in
break
marriage is
up,
till death do us part,
uh-huh,
right? And then when divorce comes up, I'm taking half your shit.
yes,
That wasn't a vow in the beginning of the wedding
but
proposals.
that is a risk. That is an assumed risk. That is an
Yes, it
assumed
is
risk.
an assumed
So it's
risk
the
is to
same
happen.
thing. So when he said, I'm going to pay your rent for a year, the assumed risk is that they can break up, and the assumed risk is in that same time that you break up, she may find somebody else who you know what I'm saying, that's all assumed risk. Unless you're telling me because of all these assumed risks, you would then have to put in these clauses, except, in addition to, concurrently, conversely. You'd have to put all these things in there. So he'd have to have said,
Well,
I'll pay your rent.
I give him the benefit of the doubt because he is 27 years old and he's probably never done some dumb shit like this in his
God
life.
damn.
So I'm pretty sure later on the road, the next girl that he feels this way or
Mhm.
he's compelled to do this
He never
for
I don't think
the
he'll do
next
this again.
time, I'm pretty sure there's going to be clauses to, you know,
Of course, but I don't think he's
of
ever
the
gonna do this
commitment.
again because now
Probably not.
he's questioning like is this dumb for me that I'm still paying for it? And yes and no. Yes, it was dumb, like you said, to have initiated the situation, and
To commit it
but it's
to
not
commit
dumb
to an agreement.
to honor your word because again, you literally put her there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I understand if she coerced you, but the way you told it is she acknowledged she couldn't afford it, and
Hmm.
you said, "I like this place for you. I'm gonna hold it down. How much can they basically had a financial discussion and agreement. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't fault him if she, came out of pocket. Don't get me wrong, if she comes out of pocket, and disrespects him, that might be a little different. If they don't have something written in contract, you're asked out. But when I am or disrespect him, but at the same time, you put yourself in that position and you got to be a man of your word. And I respect that decision. And I absolutely agree with him having to pay it until the lease is up. And then when the lease is over, now she goes, well, you put me here. Now she turns to episode 48. Well, you put me
Hmm.
here. You need to keep me here. Now we got a little something
Right.
going on. That's different. Now
Yeah.
we're like, okay,
If the
now
situation turns into episode 48, now it's time to
correct.
kick rocks.
So yeah, no, in this case, you got to be a man of your word. If you put a woman in a situation and you well, one, like Manny says, don't do it. Don't unless they're like, I don't know, wife. I can't even say engaged, like because you don't even know. Like they have to be like tied to you, kind of thing. But
Listen,
don't.
my thing is that whore.
Damn.
My bad.
God damn.
That whole ordeal. My fault.
That horror
Um,
that that horror ordeal. God damn.
that
I swear
whole
to God,
or
go back and listen to when you first came on this podcast. You were a different guy, bro. You were way like you were less jaded. And it's funny, you would swear you were dating or you were dealing with women. I mean, yeah, you had a little dealings, but like a tangential dealing since then, but nothing enough to explain where the optimism went. Old Manny
first of
would
all,
never have a Freudian slip calling a whole ordeal a horror.
that was an accident, okay? You can't count me on
He's
that.
like, he's like, he's like the whore. What they? And mind you, he didn't say that they broke up in bad terms. It just ended for whatever
This
reason.
whore. No, the whole ordeal in the first place is problematic. You should never commit to somebody
Agreed.
who
Well, you should never
like
commit.
they're
You should never make a commitment itself. Not commit to somebody, but make a commitment, especially
or
financial.
you shouldn't make a commitment to somebody you like to that kind of financial commitment to somebody you just started dating.
Yep.
There's like no time frame beforehand, and that's the issue that I have. Like it or that I saw or whatever. If there was some track, like
Uh-huh.
some backstory or whatever to it,
But what if
so
she was
be
like
it.
really fine, bro? Like I'm talking about
No,
baddie, baddie, baddie.
no,
Okay.
no. I don't give a damn how far you could be the epitome of 10.
Mhm. Mhm.
And day one, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know what? I like that place for you. I'm gonna give you no.
I'm just
Fuck
saying. I'm just
that.
saying. You got to lock. You have to lock it down. You got to
No.
lock it down.
If that's what it causes, if that's what it takes for me to lock it down, then I don't want no part of it because that
You ever
means
heard the
she's only
song
there for the money.
"When a Man Is in Love with a Beautiful Woman"? You gotta watch your eyes. You gotta watch your eyes. You gotta watch your eyes. You better look out. Everybody wants her. Everybody needs her. She's the most beautiful woman they know. That's the song from Dr. Hook. When a man is in love with a beautiful woman. When a man is in love with a beautiful woman. You better watch your
I,
friends. You better watch your friends. So I keep my girls away from Manny. That's it. That's it. He's
um,
locking it down. I don't.
yeah,
I don't. I don't
no,
hate him.
I,
Again, for all you know, let's say the rent was $6,000, and he only paid $3,000, and he's making like millions of dollars. That's a drop in the bucket. That's a drop in the bucket. So
I mean,
you have to look at it like that.
you can make stupid financial mistakes like that if you've got money to throw away, whatever the case is,
Correct. Correct.
and you've
But
got no responsibilities, no children or anything of the sort.
correct.
Whatever, what have you. But still, like that's at this point, like I said, I can't knock him. Oh shit, I can't knock him for doing that because he's 27. He's never done something like this before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that he
27
learned
is
from this
pretty.
mistake.
27 is pretty up there in age to do something for this to be your first time to do
Right.
something silly like this. So that's not that bad. So it means
No.
he's got something because he made it very clear that when he was younger, he had women paying for him because he was broke. He said he would go to Chipotle and they'd come out of pocket for him. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's how he had it back in the day. So, let's keep it real. Back when he was broke and he was in high school and younger before he got into the NBA, he said he had the women paying for him because he just didn't have the money. He was broke. That's what it was.
I mean, like I said, I'm okay with that being his first mistake. Hopefully, he learns from it or whatever the case is. But that's still like a financial obligation to
Correct.
somebody that is
Unnecessary.
not. Yeah,
Unnecessary.
it's unnecessary because you're just throwing money away.
Yeah.
Again, he's got money to throw away. But what if this was a part in your life where you didn't have the money to throw away because
Then you shouldn't be. Then you would have
yeah,
been a dumb piece of
right.
whatever, a dumb fuck, whatever you want to call it, to have
But that's what
made
I'm
such
saying. Like
such a reunion.
this is one of those situations where he just luckily was in a financial state where he could have made that and was
Correct.
fine and
Correct.
it didn't hurt him. But let's just say 10 years down the road, now he's got 5 cars, he's got like 2 3 different houses, whatever, and they're all expensive. So now he's paying for everything. He's taking care of his family,
Well, that's
whatever.
that's well, that's poor money management then.
Well, that again, but then you're doing well. You're able to cover all of that, but
Yes.
then anything additional
Hmm.
like paying somebody else's rent for a year, if that puts you out, that's a problem.
Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree. I agree. No, I just thought this is a good episode because I listened to that video and I was like, well, I agree. He should continue to pay. And I was like, wait a minute. We've had this discussion before, and I know for a fact that I said, hell no, a guy should not continue paying for an ex. And I'm just like, well, that's hypocritical of me. But then I listened to it and I said, okay, why do I agree? And I heard that caveat. I encouraged her. That's a wrap.
Right.
That's it right there. I encouraged her, and then I gave. I think which is a smart thing is that he did give a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
You could have easily said, "I got you," no matter what happens, and left it like that. And arguably, she would have had a leg to stand upon to be like, "You got to keep paying for this forever because you put me here," kind of a thing. So luckily, he said first year, so he's smart enough to do that, and I respect that even more. But I could
Right.
see myself something similar, but I could see myself in the past doing something similar to this. I'm saying, listen, I got you. We're dating because you think it's gonna be you think it's gonna be serious. He's dating with purpose. Clearly, he was dating with purpose, not just to,
Right.
to, to f around. And so this is what happens with a man who's dating with purpose. He looks at longevity, so he wants to make sure. So, for example, one of the girls that I was dating, the I don't remember. I know I brought her up. The beach date one, the one who broke up with me. Well, didn't even break up with me because the one I said that I was dating, but she wasn't dating me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even remember this story. And she was going through a financial situation. And when it came to rent and her car being repossessed, and I jumped in because I was like, I'm gonna be the man that I want to be in your life. I want to be your man. I want to be the man. So I'm gonna take on your situation as our situation. What are we gonna do? What are you doing? What are you sniffing?
whatever's in my pocket. I don't know
Okay,
what this
okay,
is.
man, because it looks like you're grabbing your ass and smelling your ass, dog. But anyway, I was in this situation. Like I said, look, I want to be your man. We're dating. You're going through something. What are we gonna do about it? I took it upon as us, not her situation. I said, how am I gonna take her out on dates when while we're at the date, she's worrying about her car being repossessed or being behind in rent, kind of a thing. And I did. I helped out for the entire, I don't know, 4 or 5 months that I thought we were dating. And I say thought. This is when I found out there's a difference between dating and you dating somebody, but somebody not dating you, or vice versa. And you know, so not only can I see myself doing it, I kind of was in that. And will I ever get that money back? No, I won't. Do I expect to get that money back? No, because I know why I did it. I did it because I thought we were in a position. I was trying to be that particular guy. Plus, we had previous history too. We dated before, and we knew each other for a few years. So don't get me wrong. I wasn't like some, oh my God, I'm pussy whipped and I dropped in there. No, we had history, but I took it upon myself to be that guy because that's the guy that I wanted to be. Kind of like the whole dress for the job you want. That's how I was treating it. I was dressing for the job that I want. I want to be a long term relationship with you. I'm gonna be and act like that is what we're working toward, and that is what was going on. And do I feel stupid? Not now. Then I did. Absolutely felt really dumb because it was a lot of money that I came out of pocket, especially for a guy with two kids and working one job and trying to, hold a studio up, on his shoulders. But I see where it comes from, and you want to do the right thing and you want to be the guy, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but you also have to know your limitations, and it comes back to the phrase that I say now, and I wish I thought about it then. How has she earned it?
Right.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. If you're gonna go, if you, so when I would ask, what's his name again?
Michael Porter
Michael
Jr.
Porter. I'd say Michael Porter. How did she earn this from you? He's probably going to say nothing because, again, he offered it because he saw himself being there comfortable. He wanted to be able to visit his girl and be comfortable where he was at. So it was kind of more like I wanted it for her, but I also wanted it for me as well. So I kind of see it that way. But then in my scenario just now, I would have gone back to that Jason, slapped him in the face, and said, "Yo, yo, 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 before you commit to all of this, before you assist, and you offer, because again, she never asked, she offered, and I jumped. Oh no, she never asked, I offered when I figured out what was going on because she was trying to hide it too. I had to discover it, and I would have slapped him in the face and said, "Listen, how has she earned it?" So in the end, probably what Jason now would have done was given her time to figure her life out. To listen, link up with me when things are okay, and then let her come back when things are okay, and then continue the dating and continue the taking her out and stuff like that, kind of a thing. That's what I think I would have done differently, or I would have been like, "Yo, your life is a mess. Peace out." I'm not sure, but that's how I feel. I mean, I know you have never experienced anything like this, man, because you're too cool for school.
Well, because I've been married for
60,
where
65
are we at
years,
now?
65.
Six
We're,
hundred
we're
and
reducing it.
sixty.
We're reducing it. We,
Oh,
we
we're
got
going
too.
backwards now.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got to reduce it. Got to be something more. We
Oh,
got to be more realistic about 65 years of marriage.
okay, yeah. So since I was married for like 65 years,
Yep.
I've never had the capability of wanting to take care of somebody else and their bills.
Right.
And I think I appreciate my marriage more for that. Um,
How so?
because
How so?
I didn't get caught up in the shit.
Oh, you mean keeping you out of
Yeah.
the
So
dating
since I
pool?
was yeah, so since I was married for so long, I didn't have to worry about paying nobody else's bills, especially if they weren't making daddy no damn sandwich.
Right. Stupid ass. Right. But in the difference is being in a lackluster or unfulfilling or toxic or miserable, however you want to eventually label it, is kind of like you're stuck in a way, as opposed to where when you're dating, if you fall into these categories and you're smart enough to say I'm out, you can pick and choose when you want to deal with what we call women's fuckery than not. So it's kind of different. As much as I say, yeah, you have less examples or no examples of dealing with women's fuckery, you also have the longest example of dealing with a woman's fuckery in
A
general,
version of it.
a version of it,
Yeah.
right? So, and it was harder to separate. Like now, if God help me if I ever date again, but if I go date and I meet somebody and I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is not. I'm not about this. I can be like, I'm out. But if I
Yeah.
was married to that, oh well, I gotta kind of work it out, or what consequences will I suffer for saying I'm out, for checking out of the
Well,
marriage?
part of being in the marriage, right, is that you own that other person. So when that other person
Did you
acts
say
up,
wait? Did you say you own that other person? Like I heard my because we were talking about money. I heard oh, but then my mind clicked in and said no. He said own. I just wanna just rewind that. Carry on, sir. Why? And he wonders why I avoid podcasting and I have all these excuses.
you own that other person. So when they act up,
Right, right.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right.
I'm saying like, you know what I'm saying? I don't I don't approve of
You don't approve.
domestic abuse.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. We here at Last of the Nice Guys do not approve of any domestic abuse from either sex. All right, so
I'm okay with publicized abuse. Huh?
just what I'm talking about. There you go. So we can wrap it up. I mean, that's pretty much it. Any final thoughts about this particular scenario and how it reflects on episode 48 or even episode 1 of the podcast, which is the very first podcast? Should men pay? I still say not up front.
No.
They shouldn't. They
Never
do.
up front.
We do, and it's expected. But I honestly believe no. I believe that courting should be a 50-50 thing. The interest should be mutual. You come, we meet up. You pay your way, I pay my way, or at least that's the expectation. And the guy reserves the right to be like, you know what? I had a great time with you. I want to see you again. I want to pay your way. I want the option and the choice, not the expectation. So when I ask you out on a date and you say yes, I want you thinking, all right, I'm going to be paying for myself. He's going to be paying for himself. We're going to get to know each other. And hopefully, maybe if he's generous enough and if I'm interested in enough or whatever it is, he might. It should be a generous offer or a gift, not an expectation or an obligation just because I asked you out. Especially if we don't know each other. What if we don't like each other?
Listen,
The
I always have an issue with it. Always, anytime, at any time, it's an expectation. If it's expected, no
Well, it
matter
is. It is. That's the zeitgeist
no, but that's what I'm saying.
of
That's the
society.
problem.
Right.
I have an issue with the fact that it's expected
Yeah.
at any point. It should never be expected.
Uh-huh.
Um, unless um there is the very, very small percentage that you can't afford it.
Right.
Okay, but
But
that's just
who can't afford it? The woman that's being taken out?
right,
Then she shouldn't be
right.
going out.
She shouldn't, but
If you can't afford it, you shouldn't be going out.
there are men that are just like, hey, listen, like I really just want to hang out with you and take you out and whatever.
Right.
However, it
But it's his
shouldn't
choice.
be
It's his choice. It's
right.
his
It
choice. If he
shouldn't be
says
expected.
that he pays, correct.
Shouldn't be expected. However, it's like, hey, listen, you know, my financial situation, this and that, whatever, blah, blah. But
Right. And then
he
he should
offers,
correct. Then he should say, you're
fine,
right. You're right. He should say, don't worry about it. I got it. It's on me. It's on me.
right.
Don't worry about it. It's on me.
But at any
You're
point,
right. You're right.
it
Absolutely
should
right.
never be expected from anybody to do anything.
Hmm.
Just like how women say men shouldn't expect to have sex on the first date.
Correct.
Just
Say it
like
again.
that.
Say it again.
It should never be expected, just like women say men should never be expect or should expect to have sex on the first date.
Right.
It should never be
It
expected.
shouldn't. It shouldn't. Because
As a matter of fact,
that's the double standard. You're absolutely right.
as a
Because here's
matter
the
of
thing,
fact,
we said it many times. Men aren't allowed to have any expectations, while women have all the expectations during courting. All of them. They have all these things that they need to be met.
crazy
And men
to me.
can't even say, "Yo, can I slide in there a little bit?" We get nothing.
I can't even
Nothing.
get my hand held. I can't even
Nope.
get a kiss, bro.
Nope.
Like I'm not even trying to fuck you.
Nope.
You ugly. I mean, what?
Oh shoot! What were you gonna say before we wrap it up?
But just how women are always complaining that men always expect sex on the first date,
Mhm.
whatever, blah, blah. Women shouldn't expect to have everything paid for
To be wine and dine. You're absolutely right.
from game one.
They shouldn't. They
And
shouldn't. But they do.
that's just the problem with society and how it is. You know, it's just stupid. It's why I will never probably ever date again.
Yep. Aw.
And that's
You're
the
gonna
issue.
deprive the ladies of the world that fantastic, handsome machismo man that you are? Why would you do
Yes,
that?
because I'm sure there's another person
Mm.
who's less hurt than
Women
me.
of the world shed one tear for the loss of that because Manny would be an amazing. Well, he was, but he would be an amazing husband again. I'm just saying that right there. Not me, not so much, but him, absolutely, absolutely. Once he gets over this, I hate everything phase that he's been going through for the last.
I don't hate everything.
You don't love anything, that's for sure.
It's not in my radar anymore.
Got
So
it.
I don't commit to the thought of it.
I think that if I start dating again, it would be as an experiment or for fun, where I would take the lady out on the date, and then when the check comes, I would say, "So we're going,
We're
so
going Dutch, right?
we're going Dutch, right?" Just to see what the response is. And as a joke, though, I would even if she said yes, I wouldn't. I would still.
What you should do is you should text her and see if she leaves you on red.
When? When?
No, like during dinner, you text her like we're going Dutch. See if she leaves you on red.
I should be like, I should check, please, like this. So we go in half, right? And see what happens. Just for the thing, a version of trolling. This is why I'm never gonna get a date because they're gonna listen to this and say, I don't want to try me like that. Or they would do it because they would, oh, but like, yes, absolutely, bust out their wallet because they know I just said that I would be paying anyway. Because I would. I'm too old school for that. I cannot see myself ever going Dutch on a date. It would have to be like a terrible, terrible date. And even then, I'd be like, look, I kind of did this to myself. It is what it is. I should have done a better job of vetting her or whatever it was. But I just wouldn't go on a second date. But all right, well, that's a wrap. I guess that's final thoughts. That's an addendum. Men should never pay except if they initiate these things. I'm sorry. If you're gonna say, hey, stay here, I got you back, well then that's on you. If you're gonna say, hey, let's go on a date, I'm gonna take you to this 5-star restaurant, you can't go Dutch for that. I'm sorry. If you say, I
Right.
really want you to go here, and she says, it's a little pricey. No, it's all good. It's on me. When you commit to these words, you got to be a man of your word, and
Hmm.
that's it. I no way around it. So in other words, don't make these commitments.
Right.
Like Manny said, just don't ever put yourself in that position, so then you won't have to have a existential crisis about looking like a fuck and also doing the right
Be,
thing.
being made fun of all over the internet,
All over the internet, exactly, exactly. Well, that's it for Last of the Nice Guys podcast. I'm Jason, that's Manny, and thank you for your time.
The Last of the Nice Guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys, Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.